Hello and welcome back to the chaos. If you are new here, I am shocked because this vlog is so late. It is not even funny, okay? I'm gonna be surprised if the people who normally show up this time. Right. I am Tanari. I do streaming on Twitch. I am currently storytelling for the RPG table for a very short amount of time. Please don't hold your breath. We only got 2 weeks left in that nightmare. And I do vlogs here on YouTube and sometimes YouTube Shorts. Those might be becoming extinct shortly just because yeah, so let's get into it. This vlog is like 2 months late. I am so sorry. Basically, almost none of that was in my control. And we'll get into that a little bit. But what this has mostly showed me is I can't do weekly vlogs. It's just I have other content that has to get done, and the content is, while it is an income producing at this point, it's not really my job. My job is to take care of my kids and my family. I am a stay-at-home parent, and I clearly can't keep up with my work and do this every week because the kind of crap that happened this year, the last couple of months, are an annual problem. So, until I find some work around there, we're going to go back to monthly vlogs, I think. But, so things that happened. Most people who are regulars know that on New Year's, I spent New Year's Eve in a hospital. That's right. Why do I keep forgetting that? My second oldest, my 10-year-old who has autism, had his face start swelling and his airway close up. And he was off his regular infusion medication for several months as a result because it was a slim possibility that was what happened. Turns out it was the other slim possibility. There is a virus. It is either an endovirus or a rhinovirus. They do the same test for both, so they didn't really bother to figure out which one was which. But one of those viruses, very rarely a side effect is the swelling and the rash he was displaying. Took several months to get into an immunologist. When we did see the immunologist, it was last month, I want to say. Barely last month. No, it was the end of last month, so it was a few weeks. A few weeks ago, and he said this is highly unlikely to be the allergy. It is probably the virus. We insisted on allergy testing just to be safe, which didn't take much insisting. It's a children's hospital, and they're good. They're like, you want to be thorough. We'll be thorough. So they did a full run allergy test on him. He's not allergic to jack at all. He's got basic frickin' seasonal BS. That's it. No allergies whatsoever. Just it was the virus, and he's been on the infusions again for a couple of weeks without problem. So yeah, he's back on his meds, but getting him, he's got autism. He was off routine anyway. Getting him back onto the infusions took some work. And a lot of pissy attitude from him. Boy, okie. He did better than I expected him to, though. There was that. Other changes that have happened. So, we have been trying to get insurance for myself and my husband for almost a year. We are not going to go into the politics, however, we will suffice it to say that we fell through the cracks on several systems. Several. Eventually my husband had to call the state again, and by state I mean the senator's office, to get that worked out. This is not our first rodeo. So, yeah, not very thrilled. But, we finally got that figured out. He finally got that worked out. I almost cried, okay? We were making the medication happen, but we were shaving off quite a few financial things to make that work. Because his medication, if he is off his medication, he will die. Period. End of story. That's it. There is no getting around that. The children's medication, they're actually on Medicaid for three of the children are on disability Medicaid now, so they get their medications. The fourth one we did not find out until we had called the state, he was getting dropped off insurance too. And we could not figure out why. Well, turns out we finally make enough money that we can get help getting insurance. We're not going to go into that, okay? F you all, have fun. That's where I'm at. I'm so tired of dealing with Medicaid offices. But the important thing is we have insurance now. We got the phone calls taken care of, and then a few weeks later, we got insurance cards in the mail with all 3 necessary names on them. Yeehaw. And yeah, basically I've had some really bad stress for a few weeks and started shutting down a little bit. Another thing that happened is I got the camp forms. I was procrastinating on getting the kids' camp forms in because of anxiety for a while, because all 3 of them are supposed to go this year. And I was terrified for a couple of reasons. But I had gotten the email back that said, no, we've accepted all 3 applications. We need paperwork so we can make a final decision. Well, last time they did not accept the second kid's application. The third kid wasn't old enough for camp yet, so he didn't have one in. This year they accepted all 3 without question, and now we're waiting on medical release, and I have very little doubt that they're going to medically be fine, because the only change to medical is the one kid is not allergic to his medications, and we've given up on certain life things, and it basically makes things a little bit easier for camp. I do not foresee medical telling us they can't go to camp, because I did not sugarcoat anything on that boy's application at all. I am not going to do that to the volunteers at camp. Holy God. But yeah, I was basically under insane stress. I was barely managing streams. Streams are what I do to unwind. The stream forces me to sit on my backside for 3 hours playing video games. Alright, that is... Ow. Forgot that was there. That's a bug bite. That's what the streams are for, is I sit down and play video games and unwind. That's it. They force me to do that. And I was unable to process certain games for several weeks because of the stress. That's when it starts futzing with my video games, that's my clue that it's getting out of hand. And then I went, okay, we need to fix the stress. I need to focus on what I need. And this is the part where I need to give a disclaimer. Please do not come at me. Okay, I have certain friends who know what I'm about to say is bad. I know it now too. I was a tomboy. It was not a joke. Okay, I didn't learn how to be a girl until I was 30. That disclaimer's out of the way. I looked into self-care. I was a tomboy. I did not learn how to take care of myself when I was a teenager. Wasn't that my mother didn't try to teach me. I refused to listen. That was it. I didn't want to be... Being a girl was a pain in the ass. That was it. I didn't mind being female. I just don't like all of the bullcrap that goes with it. Didn't like trying to be pretty. Didn't like the extra care that it takes. Didn't like the extra clothes that it took. But, that kind of pain in the butt's what you pay for the size of knockers that I happen to own. And trust me, my husband is quite happy with those. But my self-care falls into 3 things that I need to make happen. 4, technically, but I worked out the clothes a long time ago. If it's not comfortable and I don't wear it, I don't effing keep it. Which is part of why I actually need to get my ass in gear with my sewing machine, because I need more clothes. That's not an oxymoron. I actually need to make more clothes because I don't like the ones that I can buy. I do buy some clothes, don't get me wrong. But I don't need to buy more. I need the ones that I need to make. The other 3 categories here are hair, nails, skin. Diet, I've got under control. I am overweight, but I'm looking at health, not my weight. My healthy diet is on track. I go get my nails done at a salon because my nails get brittle. I am abusive to my hands. I don't take care of my hands well. And my nails suffer for it and tend to end up broken and frayed, and I don't pay attention. So I go to a salon and I get acrylics put on because that completely nixes the problem with nail care. Like, it's gone. I have armor on my fingernails, we're good. So that's been a thing as long as I can afford it. Skin and hair was a different demon. I was growing my hair out. It was not growing anymore, so I went, okay, let's look up what expert you're supposed to talk to about your hair care and healthy hair, because again, it's not about the appearance, it is about my health. My appearance follows the health every time. Turns out it's a dermatologist, by the way, that you see about hair. And I did some research, and I was actually doing really good at taking care of my hair. Did not realize that, because I never looked into, okay, how do I take care of my hair? I just went, oh, that brush hurts, or oh, that shampoo is causing me to break out. Let us not use these anymore. Turns out I was doing pretty good. I just needed some better moisturizing conditioner for my hair. I was using the wrong moisturizing products. Just because I'm in Texas, and this sounds really, really stupid. I'm really bad at hydrating any part of my body. I have been in Texas since I was 4. I don't know how I have this problem. I have no idea. I should know better by now. I really should. But I got the spray for my hair, and tonight I actually trimmed my hair by myself, and I did not screw it up. Hold on, I'm taking this clip out. Oh god, I braided it. Those were the 2 things my hair needed, was regular trimmings, and I hate the hair salon. I hate sitting still while someone chats at me. At the nail salon, they don't chat at me. Okay, if you walk into the nail salon with a book, they ignore you. Like, they don't ignore me. They actually did their job, took care of what I needed, you know, all that fun crap. But they don't chatter at me. The lady at the hair salon will chatter at me, and I can't read my book without my glasses, so that it don't work. But I trimmed it myself, and I didn't screw it up. It actually looks decent. I actually took about 1 inch off of it, just because that's how the split ends went up there a bit. I've never done that before. I hate going to the salon. But I did that. I got the spray for my hair, and my hair is doing much better, looking much healthier, feeling so much less itchy. Holy crap. And then skincare. Skincare was where I was failing magnificently. If you don't know, I learned last year or the year before, I apparently have psoriasis. Didn't know it until I started getting a plaque spot on my hands where I knit. I went to the doctor. They prescribed me this hormonal cream that, oh my god, my skin was vibrating. It was electric. Okay, you remember Pokemon? You see Pikachu right before he's about to go off and he's sparking and twitching. My skin was doing that. I hated that stuff. I do not use that cream. I refuse. And my wallet thanks me because it was $200 effing for 1 tube. I found instead, I did my research, again, dermatologist recommended products, and they recommend for psoriasis, mild psoriasis, something with salicylic acid in it. I bought this stuff for my face a long time ago because it controls the breakouts up here that cannot be controlled otherwise because stress. Stress causes breakouts, that's it. So I got smart and used that on my arms. That fixed the psoriasis. So I use, it's an acne moisturizer on my face and arms, and that fixes the psoriasis. I also use the body scrub now, the same type of body scrub and face scrub, and that's done wonders for my skin. So I went, okay, we finally got the psoriasis under control. How else do we skincare? How else do I get the skincare under control? And I asked advice from people in Gilded, and they're like, oh, you need to use moisturizer, you need to use this, you need... Ladies and gentlemen, I don't use primer. I don't use sunscreen. That one I should be... Oh my god, I have been in Texas too long not to be using effing sunscreen on the regular. But I don't. Partially because I hate being outside. When I was a teenager, and even in my early young adult life, I hated being outside and exerting myself. Turns out that's because I had asthma, and I didn't know it. I still have an asthma reaction when I'm outside while someone's mowing. I can't do that anymore because turns out it's both the heat and the pollen setting off my asthma, so yay. But sunscreen I should be using. I'm not really concerned that I've given myself, frickin' skin cancer, because I do wear a hat and clothes and mostly proper shoes. But I have taken to wearing shorts and spaghetti strap tops in the last few years, so I need to get over that. So I found a sunscreen and ordered it that is recommended for the psoriasis, as in it won't aggravate my skin. And it's a mineral version, so what it does is rather than use a chemical to prevent sunburn, it uses mineral to reflect the sun. It means I'm going to stay nice and pasty white for the most part, but I won't turn lobster red and won't damage my skin as much. I've had a few very bad sunburns in my life. I don't like it. So I've got that on order. I do have primer. I have been using it consistently, I promise. But I wasn't for the longest time. So now I've got the skin treatment under control. My face is not broken out all over the place. Like, I've got a couple of spots here that are breakouts. We had a really bad, this was part of the stress. The air conditioner was out for like 2-3 months. The fan was not working, so we replaced the fan in it, and we didn't have the money to replace anything else, to do anything else with it. We couldn't have the money to pay anybody yet. There is a cord down there that my foot keeps catching, and I am very sorry. It is shaking the camera. But we got the motor in, replaced the motor. Oh, Lord. That was... My husband and I do a lot of home repairs ourselves. There are some repairs where you wouldn't be able to tell that we didn't know what we were doing, okay? You would have no idea we used YouTube to figure out how to fix some of this stuff. Especially not considering that I'm pretty sure the dumbass that fixed parts of my house before us didn't even bother with YouTube. I don't know what he was being paid, but it was too much. This repair, though, it was quite clear we had no effing clue what we were doing. We were doing everything wrong. We did it all the hard way. But we did get it replaced. And then we learned that it had been slowly dying for several years at this point. Because when we got it in, all of a sudden, the AC and heat were silent. They had not been that quiet since the year we moved in. It was like magic, and it scared the crap out of us for 3 days because we couldn't tell it was on. And the heat was starting to kick in. We left it as long as we did and tried to fix it as long as we did because we had a window unit that we still haven't put away because we got sick. Not the point. We had a window unit that keeps the hottest 2 rooms in the house cool enough, and it hadn't gotten that hot yet. It really had not heated up yet. We were still in the pop the heater on at night phase for a lot of that. Well, we had our first heat wave right before that motor came in, and that was it. If that motor did not fix it, we were hiring a repairman, but it fixed it. So then, the stress dropped off, and as expected, I promptly got sick. As did 3 children, by the way. It was not just me this time. This was ugly. The kids got over it a lot faster than I did. It took me longer. It was a normal cold. I have not had a standard summer cold in years. That is the mildest illness I have had in years. And it still knocked me on my backside for a week. And it wasn't that it was a bad cold, it's that there are 2 things One thing I cannot work through. I can work through nausea, I can work through pain. I probably shouldn't, but I can. And do on a regular. Dizziness is not one of those things. I cannot work through being dizzy, and that cold made me super dizzy. bending over to do anything was terrible, and I was constantly worn out. After a week, I took a COVID test because it was still lingering, and it was not COVID. It's just a cold. Frickin' summer cold. Got over that finally. But that went through the whole house, as colds will. Everyone catches it. The cat was sneezing, but he didn't have a cold. He was shedding. All of the cats do that when they start shedding. They just start sneezing for no good reason because there's hair up their nose. And it's well deserved because the rest of summer the hair's up my nose. But yeah, the stress dropped off. I got sick. I've been slowly trying to rebrand the stream and the videos. As you can see, we've rearranged things behind me. This particular view of the camera has not been a thing for quite some time. I'm going to have to order a new chair for that because the one I'm currently sitting in hates my tailbone. Really does. I may have to switch this one out for the recliner for streams this week. But we get paid next week, and then I will order another chair to fix this. And, what else? Oh, yeah. So we got the AC fixed, and we finally went and got the yard done. I'm not allowed to mow. Dee can't mow right now. So we had neighbors mow, but they don't, do the trees and crap. We're not paying them enough to do the trees, okay? We are not paying them that much. So I went out and did the trees. I love working out in the yard now that I can breathe while I'm working in the yard. I just not allowed to mow. I'm not allowed to mow. But we go out there and we do the tree trimming. And we haven't actually trimmed the trees in like 3 years. But we didn't have a choice because there was one tree growing right next to the house. It was between the house and the air conditioner. And it was a little sapling that shot up from a root and just got away from us. Hadn't trimmed it, and now it was scraping the top of the roof. So I went out there and had Dee help me get it down. And then we loosed the kids with, we have a little folding hacksaw that I have gotten my hand with, okay? You cannot cut yourself with this without trying to. And we let them have at the branches with this thing for like 2 hours. And they loved it. And then we went out front and I took down all the saplings in the front yard. And the hackberry, oh God, I hate hackberry trees. Hackberry trees are evil. I swear to you, Hexus is in one of these things. Okay? Somewhere there's a hackberry tree with hexes in it. But one of the hackberries had finally gotten to where it was overhanging our roof. And I have to trim this particular hackberry back from the fence down every year. It's growing in the fence. It cannot be removed from the fence. But the branches will come out and block the gate. So I do have to trim it every year. And this year I looked up and realized there's actually 3 trees there. This is part of why hackberries are evil. And they're all intertwined, and all of the branches that are hanging over the roof are on one treetop. So I went out there and cut that treetop down. I have never had so much trouble getting a tree loose. Okay, this is the 3rd time I have cut the top off a tree. 3rd time. Right? The first time it was a small tree. It was, okay, that's got to come down because there's wasps living in it that I can't get to. Took it down. It was the other hackberry. I hate that tree. The other one, though, was a very well-established tree, and in a bad windstorm, we heard this horrible crack, and the neighbor's dogs and our dogs were losing their shit. But my sister-in-law was sleeping on our couch that night, because it was bad storms. It was bad storms. And I went out there in the morning to make sure, everybody was okay. There wasn't a problem with the roof. And the crack had been a tree that grows on the fence between my house and my neighbor's house, and our neighbors rent. So they had a bit of fun getting someone to come out there to fix that. Had snapped a branch. And the only thing that saved my life, okay, my husband and I sleep under that tree. Our bed was right under where that tree was coming down. Was the 6-foot tall fence between the two. The fence pipe on that sucker was bent beyond belief. It could not be saved, but it had saved our lives. because that was half the tree had snapped and come down. So we had to, I went out there and I spent 3 days sawing at that damn thing because that tree branch was this far around. Okay, and I'm not that strong. I had a good saw, but it wasn't a power saw, even if we owned one. I'm not allowed to use it. We all know it. And I sawed that thing down, and I finally got it loose. And it hung there. It slid, and it hung there. I had to wrap a strap around that thing and yank her out of the other treetops. It was stuck in the treetops. The hackberry was the worst I've ever done, and it was a quarter of the size of that big one. But that big one was not some monster. It was like, I don't think it was an oak, but it was a nice smooth trunked tree with big broad leaves. I don't remember what they're called. The hackberry isn't like that. The hackberry is the Velcro of trees. The treetop came loose easy enough. Got it cut. It would not come down. So I'm yanking on it. I'm pulling on it. The branches are intertwined up there. I take the branch trimmers and trim whatever branches are keeping the flipping thing up there. Pull some more. Turns out the vines that were dead along every other part of my fence were not dead in that hackberry tree, and had grown up to sew these treetops together. I had to take branch cutters to these thick, like thicker than my thumb vines to get this treetop down. And in the process, I got that. Scraped myself really good, which was fine yesterday. Didn't bother me. Put alcohol on it, which hurt like hell, but yeah, it's alcohol, and that was an outdoor tree. Yes, please. Problem was, I put a Band-Aid on it and did not know until this morning I'm apparently allergic to the antibiotic that was on that Band-Aid. So I woke up with a swollen square around this wound that would not go down. I put Benadryl cream on it, I put triple antibiotic on it, I put more alcohol on it, I scrubbed it, I put a cotton pad and medical tape on it, not another bandage, and took 2 Benadryl. And it eventually calmed down. But that took hours. And I had to take Benadryl, which knocked me on my butt all day long. I'm finally coherent, right? Like, I took the full Benadryl dose. So, I can't use those bandages anymore. And I need to get full gamut allergy testing next time I see a doctor. Which is fine, the pulmonologist had suggested allergy testing for me anyway. But that's basically everything that's happened the last several weeks. We've also been shopping at Costco and adjusting what we buy and how we do things, because I am buying a full month's groceries every month. And it's finicky. It is finicky. And I'm feeding 6 people. So our needs do change a little bit. But we're getting that ironed out. I am rebranding the stream and up here a bit. What I'm probably going to do is a lot of the graphics and things from my stream that Nerdy put up on there for me when I was crafting. I don't craft on stream anymore. Is going to carry over to YouTube. Because I am crafting on YouTube. I need to get some more crafting done. But again, with the rebranding, and I am working on it. I really am. And we're going to put some new graphics and stuff on the stream because I don't craft on there anymore. I play video games. That is taking me time. I'm not good at the rebrand stuff. I'm not good at that stuff at all. Any of it. The graphics, the social media, any of it. So it is taking me a lot of work to get that done. In the meantime, I am still streaming. I will try to get blogs up every month. That's best I can manage as a month. I'm sorry, I know it's been more than a month this time. And I do play on the RPG channel on Saturdays. For crafting videos, I am getting there. I have to get my setup worked up a little bit better. I do have some projects on the horizon. We are playing Mutants and Masterminds on the RPG table for the next 2 weeks. And then we go back to Vampire. I am playing a new one, a Ravnos, by the name of Annabelle, and she's got some special issues. But if you've been enjoying the RPG table games, you're going to love this season. We get to roll with 180 XP this time. This is going to be fun. We've also got a new player, Zeus. He's been playing the Mutants and Masterminds with me. He's going to fit in just fine. He is right on brand for us. We are good to go there. This has been a blast. I am also next month going to start a St. Jude, it'll probably be only for 6 months, St. Jude fundraiser on my stream. And if you've got any suggestions for goals, put them in the comments. Please, I need help. And I think that's where we're at right now. I'm just getting things ready for camp, getting things rebranded. I will get more content up here soon. In the meantime, thank you for stopping by. If you've listened to me ramble this long, you are fantastic. Welcome to the Void. You're the Voidling. Have fun in Sanity's Void. That's what this is. We are in Sanity's Void, okay? Welcome to the chaos. Hope you have fun. I don't do normal. It's not going to be a thing. If you like the content and want to see what comes up in the future, like, subscribe, share if you want to, or if you know someone who probably wants to see this that I don't ping because I suck at social media so much. And if you want to see me on Twitch, I am there. We are on the RPG table Saturdays at 6:30 to 7, 6:30 or 7 Central's when we start. And I am on Tanari on Twitch. I swear it's in the social tab down there somewhere. I am there Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 Central to 10 Central, and I just play video games. It's a lot of fun, and I will see you guys around or next month. In the meantime, enjoy the chaos.